Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar about the quarterly product updates for this last quarter, Q1 2025. Let's give a couple minutes for everyone to join, and then we can start. Uh, Before starting, just wanted to mention that you will have an open space for leaving all the questions that you may have during the Q&A section. And by the end of the presentation, I will be answering all of them. So feel free to ask whatever you would like to ask about the presentation in the questions section. And now let's give just one more minute. Okay, so I think that we can start with the webinar. Hello everyone, and welcome to the quarterly product updates of last quarter of Q1 2025, where we will review all the features that were launched in this quarter, which are a few, as we will see now. Um, my name is Álvaro Pajares Barroso. I'm working as a product owner here at RatedPower, where I've been working for the last almost 5 years now. And I'm working for the editability team as product owner, as I said. This is the team that is in charge of the features that give more flexibility and more options for editing the PV layout, such as the current layout editor. And well, this is going to be the topics that we will cover today. This quarter has been a huge quarter in terms of new features. We've been able to launch some of the features that were highly requested by our users, which we will see in the presentation. Features such as a layout editor, PRISM Europe, PRISM Preview in Europe also some new tags that we had to redefine for the different types of designs that we have now, some improvements related to the statistics and KPIs of the company. Also, we were able to uh, launch the arbitrage for AC-Coupled BESS. Also, an NREL meteorological data and PVGIS 5.3 update, the definition of the number of structures between roads, sub-feeder MB lines, satellite imaging PDF, and also one of the most requested features, which are the inputs templates that will make things easier when designing a PV layout with RatedPower. So let's go ahead and go to January. What did we launch in January? First thing that we were able to launch the 15th of January was the layout editor, which is a project that brings users more capabilities in terms of edition of the PV layout. And now with this new tool, we will be able to modify the position of certain elements that are key in a PV layout, such as structures, power stations, roads, and the medium voltage blocks. And we will be able to do that directly inside RatedPower without the need of going out of the tool and then losing this relation with the results and the documentation. That way, we bring users the possibility of creating cleaner and more accurate designs, and designs which are more aligned with the requirements that you may have. With the layout editor, to be able to enter the layout editor, we will have different options. We will be able to do that directly from the cards that we have for each design within the icon that we see of edit layout. Also, we will find an option in the history of designs. Clicking on the three dots, we will see that we have an option for editing the layout that will send us to the layout editor. And then also an additional option will be to use the button that is present in the results tab or in the design process. And when clicking on that option, we will go directly to layout editor where we can modify the elements that I mentioned before. Also, after launching the MVP of the layout editor, the first version that allowed us to do the modifications that I just said, we were able also to launch during the quarter some improvements of the tool that will try to improve the solution and make things easier for our clients. So the first thing that we implemented and that will give users more flexibility when defining the AC power of the design in layout editor was an option to edit the number of inverters per power station. So now from the layout editor, users are able to add or remove inverters from power stations directly from the tool. Another option that we launched during the quarter was an option to duplicate structures. We can do it with the option that we see in the top toolbar, but also we will be able to use the commands Control C, Control V. And that way, we believe that users will be able to include or add the structures in an easier way and make the process of editing the layout and increasing the number of structures installed in an easy way by just using this simple feature. Finally, last feature that was released in relation to layout editor was an option to align structures to roads. Since the first version, we were able to align structures to the borders of the parcels, also to use reference points to align structures to other structures, to align structures in an uniform way. And during the quarter, we were able to include a new option that will give users the possibility of aligning structures to roads, so that if we have a road in the center of the PV layout or in the perimeter or wherever, and we want to align the roads to the structures to this road, we can do that in an easy way. So that being said, now I would like to go to RatedPower and show you briefly how we can go to layout editor and what options do we have there. First of all, as mentioned, we will have the option of editing the layout from the button that we see at the top side of the results tab. Also, we will see an option in the list of options that we have for each design in the history of designs. And finally, we will have an option also uh, from the cards of each design. We will see that we have an option for editing the layout. Once I click on that option, we will enter to this space that I mentioned, that where we can modify the position of structures, roads, power stations, and the medium voltage blocks. We will find that we have tools thought for the edition of a PV layout directly in the top toolbar, in case we want to duplicate structures, to align structures to a specific line, to reference points uniformly, at a specific distance, and so on. And when selecting some structures, for example, we will see that we can do any of these actions. And if I want to align to a setback, for example, we'll see how the setbacks will be highlighted. If I click on any of them, structures will be moved accordingly. The same if I define a specific distance. And that way we can modify the layout as we want, generate the design, and then get the design updated with all the changes that we did. Also, we have information about all the power stations in terms of power, so we will have real-time data that will help us to interact with the layout and to have more information about each of these elements while working with the layout. Um, I don't want to cover much more. Also mention that we can validate the design at any moment. So if we uh, have a situation which is not correct, as for example having a structure outside of the available area, we will see that from the validations, and we will be able to solve the issue with the options that we have in the layout editor. And that's it that's all what I wanted to mention from this tool. If you are interested on the layout editor, I encourage you to watch the webinar that we did some time ago, explaining every feature in a more detailed way, going a bit deeper. We will share it with you later, and I encourage you to go there if you want to know a bit more about this layout editor. Going back to the presentation, another project that was very big and that we launched in January of this year was PRISM Europe. PRISM is a tool that is offered by Emberas, and we've been able to introduce Spain and France to this tool. Up to this year, we had all this information for US, and we've been able to bring it to Europe to have all this data in Spain and France. PRISM is a tool that is included in RatedPower Enterprise Plan, and it helps developers to find the ideal project location by considering different factors such as the substation capacity, free cadastral parcels, and potential restrictions, so that users have a well-informed site selection when they are prospecting the different parcels. We will go now to the tool, but we can see directly here from the image. We will have the map with all the parcels in Spain and France in this case. We will have also information about the substations, how much capacity we have available on those, the voltage of the substations. We can have also some plots representing all of this data, and that way we can filter, try to modify and get the parameters that we want to get to understand what's the best parcel for our specific project. So it's like a tool thought for prospecting. As I mentioned, this is a tool that will help to evaluate land parcels and substations, and currently is available for Spain and France. We've been able to include the parcels and substations. There are also some other layers related to exclusion layers, topography, high voltage lines, and so on, that we are planning to include in the future. But up to now, users will be able to also use Fusion Connect, which is a tool that gives them the possibility of uploading their own layers into Prism, so that we have the option also of uploading these layers in case that we want to include some additional information to the tool. Here just mention that also from Prism, once we get the parcel that we want to have for the specific project, we will be able to export the parcel in shapefile and upload it to Rated Power and continue working on the design from Rated Power. Before going to PRISM Europe, I would like to also highlight this new feature, which will help Rated Power users to directly get the parcel from Rated Power in the site creation. We will see that at the left side we have an option for PRISM layers, including the parcels for US and Europe, which up to now is for Spain and France, as I mentioned. And we will be able to see all the parcels directly from Rated Power, select the parcels that we want to add, and add them to the site creator and continue working on the project from Rated Power. Now we can go to Prism. And this is how Prism looks. As we saw before, we will have information about all the parcels and substations in the map. Also a data table with all the substations in this case, but we can filter and adapt these tables to our needs. We can create new tables, new workbooks, and plot here all the information that we think is more important for our specific needs. There's the option to filter also among all the parcels that we have. Let's imagine that I would like to first find what's the substation that better suits my needs, and I want to find substations which have at least 40 megawatts of available capacity. Once we do that, all the parcels will be updated. We don't have too many substations with that limitation. But once we have done that filtering, we can go to the substations that we think are more interesting for our case. We could go and inspect the layer that we have selected. And we can also use these filters to uh, define a buffer or within a specific distance. Let's say I want to get all the parcels that are within 5 kilometers from these substations. I will be able to do that. We'll see how this buffer has been created, and we have like a specific area of interest filtered. If I save this area of interest, I will be able to then filter by the region that I created, and get all the layers, get the parcels also. And now, once they will charge, we will be able to continue filtering or continue operating with the different parcels and substations of Spain and Europe to get what's the parcel that better suits our needs. Uh, so we can get the specific information that we want for the parcels or for the regions in which we are working. I also recommend you to watch the webinar that we also had this quarter related to Prism in case you are interested, and of course feel free to share any questions in the chat if you have any. So continuing with January, as we've been including different types of designs within Rated Power. We've included lately battery designs, standalone batteries also in Rated Power. We've incorporated, as I just mentioned, the layout editor. So we now have designs that can be edited. We've redesigned the tags that we had in RatedPower, and now we'll see that we have tags for PV designs, best designs, hybrid designs, and also for all of them plus edited designs. We have also the batch designs, and we will see that in all the design cards and also in the uh, different views of the application. Also, we will be able to filter by type of design or by category of design. So with that, we can go to February, which started by with some improvements related to statistics and KPIs. We modified this section a bit, trying to include more data that will provide insights on project performance, user behavior, and software adoption to our clients so that they will be able to get more data about how Rated Power fits like their company and more data about the specific usage of the software within their company. To do that, we'll see now that the section related to projects also displays a list of projects with information about each one of them. Also, in the section related to users, we will see information about all the users that we have in the tool, and also the regional activity for the the designs and for the users that we have, where we will see for each specific region how many designs and users created designs in that specific country. Continuing with February, also this month we were able to launch the arbitrage for AC-coupled BESS. This strategy will give us the possibility of performing techno-economic analysis with batteries, and now we will have an option that the batteries are getting and that they are putting in the grid. We will see that now a new option appears in the batteries tab, an option which is best dispatch, and also new inputs, of course, related to this option that will give the algorithm the required inputs to make this optimization. So we will have inputs as the efficiency, battery cycling with the state of charge and the cycles per day, also inputs related to the degradation. And when generating a design, we will get information for every hour about the energy dispatch, the energy charge from PV, consumed from grid, all these outputs related to the arbitrage of batteries. Also mentioning that there's an option to charge from grid, so in case we want to consider that, we can do it also from Red Power. Also related to this new option, new capex units have been defined for BESS. You will find them in the capex sheets once we enable the option for dispatch, and also that we can determine the best revenue from the financial section, defining variable prices in case that we want to use different prices for batteries and for PV. So we can do that from the financial section. As we see, we've incorporated this option in the battery section, but there are other inputs that, of course, will affect the arbitrage, which are related to financial. Continuing with a new feature that is also related to energy. Now we have incorporated also real meteorological data, which will be used and will be available for any site defined in the USA. And also we've updated PVGIS 5.2, and now we have PVGIS 5.3. Also, as this update made countries from the US do not have real meteorological data, we had to develop this new option for getting real meteorological data so that we are still covering this meteo data in the USA. Here just mentioned that it will affect the energy calculation, of course, and design and energy yield reports, which will have some references related to this new meteorological data source. Also continuing with the options that we have for defining the layout, we've included a new option for setting the number of structures that we want between roads. Up to now, it was something that users could not define directly from RatedPower. It was an automatic calculation that wouldn't give users any chance for defining that in a manual way. And now we will see that in the layout section, we will have an option for setting the number of structures between roads. And so we can get a more customized layout and have that more adapted to our needs. Another option that we included in February was the option to define sub-feeder MV lines. Up to now, we've always had radial lines when defining the medium voltage lines of the PV plant. And now users can define also sub-feeder lines, which will change how power stations are connected, defining the MV lines that will be then connected to the substation. And up to now, we can define up to 2 levels. And that way, as we see in the image, power stations can be connected more than one to one power station, minimizing the medium voltage lines, and so having more than one input cubicle for per power station, for the power stations that have more than one line connected as input. And that's it about February. Let's continue with March. This last month, we also modified the part of the documentation that defines the layout in PDF. And we included also new pages, which will have the satellite image in the PDF. So now we'll see a view of the layout that was given up to now without any satellite image, and then some pages reflecting this satellite image. Also for batteries, the same will apply, and we will have not only the representation of the PV plant, but also of the batteries. Continuing with the interconnection part, we've modified also the SLDs of the switching and breaking stations, and also incorporated some additional protections to the circuit breakers that we have in these stations, which will be, of course, reflected in any drawing or any document related to the switching and breaking stations, SLDs, bill of quantities, or the facility report. When incorporating the option to have flexible interconnection schemas, we were able to get overhead lines sorry, I see that we have some issues with the audio. Okay, I think that we are having some issue with the audio. I think it should be fixed now. Um, okay, so continuing with this, sorry. Um, we released the flexible interconnection schema, and that changed how uh, switching and breaking stations were defined, and how we could have overhead lines also going out from the switching and breaking stations, and we had to change the protection of the switching and breaking stations. We did so, and also adapted the documentation. So the last feature that we released very recently, and also we think that will streamline the process of creating a new design with rated power by a lot, and will not only save time but also avoid mistakes from our users, is the input templates. Now users can save input templates in rated power. They will be able to do that from the button that we see at the right side. When they are creating a design, they will have this option of saving the inputs as template. And afterwards, when creating a new design, they will be able to load the template. That way, we will ensure that the inputs that we would like to use for specific designs are correctly defined, and avoid any undesired mistake on the design process. Here it's important to mention that not all the inputs and selections will be saved in the template, and the tabs that we see here: location tab, horizon and albedo parameters, financial tab, grid point tab, the customer company logo and the CRS parameters, and also the area schedule B and inputs per area features won't be saved in the template, as those options are more related to the site specifically, and as templates can be defined for different sites, we decided to exclude them from the templates, at least for now. So now let's go again to rated power and see how can we save inputs as template. So let's go to this design, for example, that I generated some time ago, and let's say that I would like to save all the inputs that I had defined for this specific template, this specific design, and use it afterwards in other designs. I could define a name here, save the template, it was successfully created, and then when go to the design process, wherever I am, I will be able to upload the template from here, upload the inputs that I had defined, that I have saved previously, and be sure that I have the inputs that I wanted for the design. That way we ensure that we have the correct inputs. And that's it, mostly about the input templates. Just mentioned that we can also organize them from the template section. And that being said, we've covered all the features that we launched this quarter. So now feel free to drop any questions in the questions box. I see we have a couple. The first one is related to layout editor and what are the next steps. Well, we launched, as I mentioned, the first version in January. Already in this quarter, we've been able to incorporate new functionalities to the future that will improve the user experience. And now we want to continue by giving users full all the options that they could have for modifying the AC power by adding an option to add and delete power stations, also an option that will um, show the parametric inputs, all the inputs that we have in the usual flow in the layout editor, so that we can edit, for example, inputs related to energy or to financial. And then we want to continue adding more elements in the layout editor, such as low voltage groups or low voltage equipment, also to incorporate topography data in layout editor. And these are the things that we will focus on mainly in the next quarters. Um, I see that we have another question related to PRISM and whether we are planning to provide PRISM in other countries. We are. It's in our roadmap to get the data for UK, Germany, and Italy, and also to incorporate more options to the to Spain and France, providing more exclusion ranges and other options as I mentioned. But it's still like something that we will work on in the future. Um, I don't see any other questions. Let's give one more minute in case someone has any other questions. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think that we can close it here. Thank you very much for attending to this webinar. We will send you later like an email with the webinars that I've mentioned in the um, in the webinar. So feel free to. I see that there's a last minute question. What is the file type requested when you insert a template? Um, you don't need like to upload any specific file type. When you are designing in RatedPower, let's go back. When you are in design process, from here is where you can save the templates. So when you are saving the template, we are saving all the inputs that you have defined and relating them to the template that we are saving. So after saving it and going to a different project, when loading the template, we will see all the options that we have, and there we will have the template that we have saved, and just selecting the one that we want. All the inputs will be uploaded, and so we can continue with the design, knowing that we have defined the inputs that the template had. So there's no need to upload a file with any specific format. Um, yep, sorry. So with that, I think that we can close. Feel free to reach us out if you have any other questions, and thank you very much for joining.